Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to another episode of Sunday Morning Shred, the show where you wake up Sunday, come to YouTube, and there's a brand new episode waiting for you right when you wake up, all about cool guitar stuff. This week I got a bunch of your guys' guitars to show you. Normally I show you a guitar from my collection, and I've got a bunch of crazy guitars as you can see behind me, but I've been having you guys send me videos of your guitars, photos of your guitars, and descriptions that talk about the mods and the customizations you guys have done to your guitars. And this week we have 9 of them, so I figured I don't need to show one of mine. We'll go through your guys's 9 of them, and there are some awesome ones. After that, I got a bunch of your guys' questions to answer. I did a Q&A on Instagram earlier today, and just a couple hours ago, a ton of questions have been coming in, so I think there's like 50 or 60 of them, and some of them I'm just going to blast right through. Some of them I'm going to take my time with, but I'm going to see how many of those things I can get through without taking up a full hour or anything crazy like that. So if you watch Trash to Thrash this week, thank you guys for tuning into that and tuning into this show, of course. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the like button. All that stuff help promote the show and get it up in the YouTube algorithm or whatever. But if you watch Trash to Thrash this week, you saw the Ibanez RG I've been working on. I finally got that one done. I've been working on the Proline Flying V, the Ibanez, that's been like the talk of the town lately. Everybody freaking out about the wood grain that is actually an airbrushed paint job that doesn't even look very good, to be honest. But that guitar, I'm going to be doing some really cool stuff too in the next couple weeks, but I've been waiting for some special paint to come in, some crackle paint, and that one's been on hold. So Trash to Thrash has been crazy lately. A lot of people have been asking for 2 episodes a week. And I've been working every single day on guitars. I got 12 or 13 customer guitars here. I got 4 or 5 custom shop ones that I'm just building for the shop. And then I have probably 5 or 6 more over here on this long guitar rack that I have. And I've got so many guitars to work on that I don't really have time to put out two episodes per week. And every single day I'm working on these things. I'm trying to keep a storyline going too for, if I start a couple guitars, I want to finish them on the next couple episodes instead of starting them and then starting a couple more and then starting a couple more and then putting them on hold for too long. So I've been trying to finish these 2 Ibanez and the Jackson Kelly that I did with the Crackle, but I'm still waiting for some stuff for the Crackle one too. So this week it came down to I was still recording footage for Trash to Thrash on Wednesday, and then I edited it Thursday. I wake up at like 3:30 in the morning a lot of times. And pretty much every single day, actually. And I'll be editing videos, answering emails, all that stuff super early in the morning before everybody gets up here. And so I was up at like 3:30 in the morning working on this episode to get it up by noon the same day. And I ended up finishing it in just a couple hours after that. But like, they're starting to come down to the wire. So the next couple weeks, it's going to be a lot easier because I've been working on like all 12 of these customer guitars in tandem. And I don't want to start showing the footage of that stuff yet because I want to finish these other ones. So next week, there's going to be like another a batch of new guitars you're going to see come on there. And they're pretty far along already in the build process. So it's going to be really cool. If you guys want to see more episodes of Trash to Thrash, like 2 episodes a week, which is kind of crazy. If you've noticed the episodes have been getting longer and longer, maybe at some point I can like cut them shorter again. Like the first ones were only like 11 or 12 minutes. The recent ones have been like 18 minutes. The last 2 were 18 minutes. So maybe when I start to creep up to like the 20, 25 minute range, I'll cut them back down to 12 or 13, possibly could do 2. But what I need from you guys is I need your guys' help to promote it because, they're doing good. They're getting 5,000 to 10,000 views, which is insane to get that many views on a video every single week on my page. But if I'm going to be doing 2 episodes a week, I mean, I spend at least 10 hours an episode editing it. It's like a full day of editing. All the work you got to do to the guitars, obviously, so you can get some footage to throw in there. All the voiceover work. It's crazy how much time goes into these things. I still have a full-time job. So if you guys want to get more episodes from me, you got to get these videos with me, get them promoted. Pump them out on your Instagram stories. Help me promote them. Tell your friends about it. I know a lot of you already are. So I appreciate everything you guys have done so far because I see everybody's comments about how they're telling people about it, and I see your guys' story shout-outs on Instagram. It's so awesome. But we need to get those episodes higher views so I can quit my job and then just do guitar content all day. Same goes for the tutorials. I get a lot of questions about, can you do like a step-by-step tutorial on how to do a splatter paint job and how to do clear coats and all this stuff? And I really want to, but I'm maxed out. I'm pretty much using all my time to work on the guitars and then edit the videos. And of course, you know, I have a family, so I spend time with them every single day. And as far as guitar stuff goes, I'm maxed out. So we need to get me out of my regular job. So get those videos promoted, tell people about it, and maybe we'll get 2 episodes a week. Let's get into some of the fan guitars now. So I think, yeah, we got 9 of them here. A couple of them are through video. If you guys want me to show your guitar on the show, of course, make a little video as short as 30 seconds or whatever, as long as like maybe a minute, 2 minutes or whatever, and just tell me about the guitar. I love hearing the history of it. Tell me if you've had it a long time, the story of it, when you got it, how old you were, what the, you know, if it was at your birthday present, what changes the guitar went through, who got it for you. Like, I love hearing that part of the guitar story. The first one's from Blood Slaughter Metal on Instagram. Insane name, man. Definitely a metal dude. Let's see.
Hey, Mark. Hey, just real quick, I wanted to thank you for giving me the inspiration. I've been wanting to do this guitar for a while. It was given to me by somebody that has passed on, and it's pretty sentimental to me. It's a cheapo 2016 Chinese Randy Rhodes that, man, I really like playing it, but it just didn't have what it took. But I did a fret level on it, and I stripped it all down and stained the sides with Kita dye and painted the face and the back flat black. And I didn't take the frets off because they're set in frets. It's not real easy, and I don't have a way to press in fret wire anyway. So I just stained over top of it. You could tell on the neck where I spent a lot of time playing on it. But I would have liked to have sanded it all down. But it kind of, I think it looks cool like this. It really shows up in a fluorescent light, but in the dark it looks really badass. But anyways, it's got some Futone upgrades. I took all the electronics out, replaced everything with True Tone stuff like I always do, and I have my signature Cardillo Bloodbucker pickup in there. And there she is.
Oh, awesome. Ooh, I like the pickup. The red pickup looks sick. Red logo on the headstock.
Let's see if I can get her out there.
Yeah, that thing looks evil.
It's all satin and the Kita red stain just on the sides. Anyways, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have taken on this project, and I appreciate you. And keep doing what you do, man. Love it. Take it easy.
Oh, that was awesome. Cool. Thanks, man, for letting me know that I inspired that guitar. That thing's awesome. I love the black front with the red accents on the sides. Very cool. Let's get to the next one. And obviously, I love a Jackson Rhodes. I mean, come on. Oh, this is another guitar from, what's his name on Instagram? That Guitar Dude Guy. That Guitar Guy Dude. That Guitar Dude Guy. I'm pretty sure it's That Guitar Dude Guy. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay. This is a crazy transformation. I showed one of his guitars on either last week's or the week before, but this is the one I actually meant to show. He does crazy mods to guitars where he chops them up, sands them down really nice, does really cool finishes on them, and this is one of those ones. It's called the V200 Pro E-Washburn Extreme Weight Loss. Let's check this out.
Hey guys, Latif's here, aka That Guitar Dude Guy on Instagram and YouTube. Today I want to share with you transformation that I did to a Washburn V200 Pro E that I had for a couple of years. Overall, the guitar was in really great condition, but I didn't enjoy it. It was awkward to play. The shape wasn't quite right for me. I have a 93 Gibson Flying V that I really enjoy. I enjoy how it looks, and I enjoy how it feels in my hand. But this guitar wasn't it. It was far from it. Actually, the only 2 redeeming features that this guitar had was a set of EMGs, and the neck was very comfortable. So I've decided to make it special, and I think you will agree that it's quite special.
By the way, both of these videos so far, awesome. I love the way that they're detailed, and you hear these people really love these guitars, and the description is just, This is great. I love this.
The first thing I did was giving this guitar a stainless steel 0 fret, because I always wanted a guitar with the 0 fret. Here you can see the shape that I marked on the guitar and on the headstock. On the headstock you can also see the location for the string ferrules, the same string ferrules that were used on the guitar originally. This is the body after I cut it, and this is the headstock after I cut it. It looks way better if you ask me. Because I changed the bridge on the guitar from a pneumatic style to a headless bridge, I had to change the neck break angle. So I start carving the neck pocket, and I smooth it out.
That's pro level mod stuff right there. Though he chiseled the crap out of it. But I mean, look at his work. He knows what he's doing, I'm pretty sure. So that's pretty cool, I think.
The neck itself was very loose in the pocket, so I had to add some material to the neck for a snugger fit. I exposed the bevels of the guitar for the looks. I also added a comfort carb where the neck meets the body. This makes the guitar way more comfortable.
By the way, if you're wondering where his accent is from, he's from Israel.
But it causes some problems, as you can see.
Man, you do good, cool work.
When I cut the body, I had to go to the electronic route, and this left a big hole on the back of the guitar. So I plugged it and reshaping it, and I think it turned out great. At this point, I sprayed the guitar with a couple of coats of matte lacquer. Here you can see that I had to drill some extra holes in the guitar. How the saying goes? One photo equals 1,000 words? Well, I think this photo says it all. And this is what I end up with.
Damn, that is awesome.
A way superior guitar than what I started with. This guitar is very comfortable, very compact, the ultimate travel guitar. And I even made a custom case for it. Thank you very much for having me on your show, Mark. I really appreciate it. These days I'm taking part of the 2021 Great Guitar Build-Off, the Scratch Build competition, and I have some very interesting things planned. Please follow me on Instagram and on YouTube if you are interested. Thank you very much. See ya.
Nativ, that was sick, dude. That guitar looks awesome. I'm curious about something. I know you watched the show, so what is that bridge? Because, you know, I've never built a headless guitar. I like headless guitars. I actually do have one. Shout out to my Steinberger over there. I've wanted to build some headless guitars. So tell me about that bridge if you can. If you've used that one before, what you think of it. Is it a tremolo bridge? Doesn't look like it. It looks like it might be a hardtail of some sort, but if you think about it, when you change from a standard guitar with tuners at the headstock and you put something like that where the ball end is at the head, you have to have some way to tune it if you remove the tuners off the headstock. So that bridge right there is it's got tuners built into it, obviously, and I want to know more about it. Tell me about it. So maybe send me a video and I'll play it on next week's show or whenever you can. Very cool. All right, we got Blake England next, and got a video for this one. It's a Jackson. Okay.
Hey Guitar Cuts, this is my guitar, the Jackson JS32T, and I love this thing so much. Got it in the summer of 2020, and I played it throughout the fall, basically, and I love it so much. Also, I got upgrades. I got Dragonfire Crusaders in white, as you can see right here. And it's been with me for about 2 years, almost 2 years since summer's coming up. And yeah, that's about it. Love the show, man.
Cool. Jackson King V. Those pickups, I thought they were Seymour Duncan Invaders. And when you said the name of them, it was kind of funny because they're called Crusaders instead of Invader, which is almost like, I wonder where they got their design from. But dude, sick. I'm very curious about the JS series. Did he say it was a JS32? Let's go back to that real quick.
Guitar Cuts, this is my guitar, the Jackson JS32T.
Yeah, they make the JS32 in the Rhodes, and I think they also make it in King V. I think they make it in a couple different, maybe it's just those two. But yeah, I'm very curious. Been wanting to buy one, actually, because a lot of people at the time when I built the Alien Blood Rhodes, a ton of people were asking me, could I build another one? And of course I could. Anybody who wants one, if they want to put in an order, I'll start working on one. Part of it is we got to find a good guitar to start with, and like I was wondering if the JS32 series were good starter. You know, they're not. I know they're not the best Jacksons, but they look nice. So I was thinking about maybe picking up a couple JS32s. They make the King V. I haven't really. I don't think I've rebuilt a King V ever. Thinking about it right now. I've done a ton of Rhodes. I have a King V style LTD out there right now in the shop. But yeah, I've never done a King V. A lot of people like my Rhodes guitars and the Warrior. Man, I've never built a Warrior. So I was kind of thinking I would love to get 2 or 3 of those JS guitars. Really cool, man. Really cool. The next one comes, oh, this one's cool. This is from Luke, and he's got another Jackson for us. So this one, he made it into it's a Van Halen tribute guitar. Here it is. So it started its life red. He striped it up. Oh, sprayed it white. Striped it again. Sprayed it red. And there we go. We got a Jackson. Original design on the stripes. That looks like original to me. I don't recognize that as a official Van Halen. And there it is, all set up. Cool guitar, dude. Looks great. Good job. Oh, whoa. Okay, what is this? Here we have Moro's Jackson Rhodes. This thing is sharp looking. Okay, orange with black bevels. And you'll notice that he actually cut down where the body meets the neck. He cut it so he could reach higher up on the frets. Very awesome. Nice inlays too, clean. Just a single shark fin on the 12th fret. I think this is a RR1, pretty sure. Sweet. Yeah, look at that. Clean work. Got the Seymour Duncan pickups. Oh, okay. This one is from a regular almost on the show now, Fat Philosopher. He's emailed questions in on almost all the Q&As now, and here he is showing off one of his guitars. I was actually going to build him a guitar, and something happened with the guitar. Somebody wanted to buy it from him, so he ended up selling the guitar, but I think it was a Hondo Warlock, which is like a Warlock 80s knockoff Warlock, but Hondos are pretty cool. So let's check out Fat Philosopher's guitar.
It's called a Sahana Woodchill. It's made out of Nepal, and it features Himalayan woods on it. Got a bone nut, Himalayan laurel, mahogany body with a cap, maple cap. Kind of looks like a snake or a dragon here on the bottom where it comes together.
Oh yeah.
Hip shot bridge. Single humbucker with a push-pull to split, and glow-in-the-dark inlays. This actually glows in the dark as well. I'll send pictures of that. It's bolt-on 5-piece neck.
Nice. Cut off. The video cut off. He's just going to talk about the tuners, you could tell. Very nice guitar, man. He sent some photos along with it. Look at this thing. So he actually sent one because the resin fill, there's some resin fill on this guitar down there where he said it looks like a dragon or a snake's head. Let's see if we could zoom in. Yeah, down there. That looks sick. Yeah, it looks like an alligator to me. I love that hip shot bridge. That's gorgeous. The top on this guitar is amazing. Excellent work by this builder. It's a left-handed guitar. There's a close-up of it down there. That is awesome. And then when you turn the lights out, this is what you get. The glow-in-the-dark fill right there. That's really cool. I got to start messing with glow-in-the-dark stuff. I love that kind of thing. Especially, oh, I wonder, yeah, that must glow with the black light too. So you can see that's what glows. There it is. All the little fill right there. That is awesome. Okay, so this one here is from Harry G _5150 on Instagram, and he built a couple Frankenstrat replicas. So let's check it out. Let's see if it passes the tests. We got the stripes right there. This looks good. Ooh, you got that right. Look, I'm looking for all the crucial little things. I've done how many Frankenstrats now? Got the little, what I call the dove down there. It's a little different down there. Okay, I see a little difference. That looks great though, man. Good job. I also, what's crazy is I saw on his profile, I just remembered this, he's 16 years old. If that's true, if you're really 16 and you're already doing guitar work like this, you're ahead of the game, man. Yeah, great job. That thing looks excellent. Reflectors on the back. That's something I've never done on one of my Frankenstrats. I've built probably 15 or 20 of them at least. I've never put the reflectors on the back. For some reason, it just makes it look like it'd be less comfortable. And I feel like it's a little unnecessary. Even, I mean, the original had it, so if you want a real replica, obviously, you got to do it. But I think, for me, I don't want it on the back. Oh, he even got the blue paint on the corner. There it is. Nice. Got the cigarette burns up there on the headstock. Legit. Very legit. And then he did a couple. He did another EVH replica. This one, the 5150 also. Dang, dude, you do good work. Kramer. Oh, yeah, I see you got an Ibanez over there. Yeah, the Kramer. The famous Kramer with the star on the headstock. Oh, okay. Well, let me finish up with this one. But yeah, that looks excellent work. Pretty sure he left me a message too. Let's see if I could easily pull that up here. Nope, I can't. So, okay, let's go on. So this one here, really cool, man. This is pretty crazy when you look at it and you hear the description of it. This is from WheelieBin79 on Instagram. He said, my Gibson Flying V might be worth a look. It was laser etched by the good people at Burnt Axe in Brighton. Then I had some custom bare knuckle Ragnaroks. Okay, yeah, I said that right. Ragnaroks made so the design could carry over. The design was made and done across the body, custom mirrored scratch plate, pickups, and headstock by Burnt Axe. Look at that. It's like his guitar's got a henna tattoo. It's a mirror pickguard, and it looks like that's all etched on there, too. The pickups are made with the same design. Is that what he said? Custom bare-knuckle Ragnaroks made so the design could carry over. You can't really see them that good from this photo, but really cool. Did he say the year of this? No, he did not say the year of the Gibson Flying V. Gibson Flying V is one of my favorite guitars. I have one. I have a 2003 or 4 model. And it's like one of those ones that I got when I was like 17 or 18, bought it brand new. And I'll have that thing forever. Oh, this one is crazy. Look at this thing. This is up my alley. Got a description for it. Okay, so he said, hey dude, I've done my 70s tribute up Flying V, inspired by the blood splatter Randy Rhodes. So that's the one I did, I guess, on like Trash to Thrash episode 5 or something. So this was inspired by my guitar. That's cool, man. You did a great job. Painted it white, threw some red blood splatter on there. Got the EMG pickups. Was that 81, 81? Almost looks like an 85 in the bridge, but I don't think so. I don't have another picture of the body up close, but could be an 81, 81. Chrome hardware. Dude, that looks awesome. And let's see, we got the headstock. Did the blood on the headstock. Yeah, dude. That's rad. Is that the last one? That was the last one. So that was Matty Miller DLDX. Man, sick guitars, guys. Keep them coming. Anyone who wants their guitar featured like that, send it in. I like the videos more. I like hearing you guys talk about your own guitar better than me crappily reading your descriptions that you send to me. But hey, either way, I still like to show them. Now, let's get into some of your guys' questions for me. I'll pull them up right here. I'm just taking them straight from Instagram this week. Usually I kind of take some and I screenshot them and pull them to the side, but today I'm just pulling them straight from there. And like I said, got like 50 or 60 of them here. And I see some came in since I started. And I'm just going to blast through some, and I'll spend a little more time on some of them. By the way, I hope you guys are enjoying your coffee or energy drink. What do you guys drink when you wake up? I love coffee. I usually drink coffee because I wake up at super early, 3:30 in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, something like that. Pretty much every day. I'll drink coffee till like 2 or 3 in the afternoon most days. But it is Keurig coffee. And if you don't know, Keurig is like an instant coffee pot thing. And it's not like very potent. It's pretty watered down coffee. Okay, so I'm just going to start at the very beginning. Have you ever built a guitar? Very vague. I'm guessing he means built it, not like, you know, restored or whatever. But I've never built one from scratch, and I'm about to buy a CNC machine. So I'll definitely be building a guitar soon from scratch. Had to reset my camera. It shuts off every 27 minutes. So, have you ever built a guitar? Yeah, I will soon. Can you make it possible to have 2 Trash to Thrash a week? I would love that. But right now, I'm not going to be able to. It's just they take way too long to do and make. But I've got the footage to do it, and I've definitely got the guitar work here to do that. It's just, you know, if I did 2 a week, it'd probably go a little more but right now, I skip over steps. I don't show every single thing. So yeah, I'd be more in detail if I was doing 2 a week because, you know, I can only, as one person, I can only do so much per week. I do have a helper in the shop, and pretty soon I think I'm going to have him doing a little bit more to help me. OG 1992, we need a complete guitar tour, man. Got some gems. You know what's crazy is I recorded a video like a year and a half ago. I hit 50 guitars. So Trash to Thrash actually started in July of 2019. I started recording those. And that's like, if you notice, episode 1, my hair's like really short with shaved sides. By episode 3 or 4, you'll see the little clips of me that I have long hair all of a sudden. And it's because the first 2 or 3 episodes, I had already like started editing and taking my time, not really planning to release it at a certain date. I just started doing them. And then by like episode 3 or 4, I had like parts of them outlined. And I had already started working on those Rhodes guitars. And then episode 5, 4 and 5 and 6, I had a lot of that footage already. And, you know, January 1st of this year, 2021, I started releasing them. But you'll see that my hair grows like a foot between episode 1 and episode 5 or 6. And then somewhere around there, I cut it all off. I had super long hair. And all the last, 7 or 8 episodes, I don't know how many now, have been me, the guitars I'm working on now. So the guitar business has gone crazy with people sending me their guitars, and it's not really me buying up beat up guitars right now. It's me taking in customer guitars and just pimping them out, pretty much pimp my ride for guitars. But now I'm doing 1 a week. It'd be crazy to try to do 2. I've got the guitar work here to do 2, but it would take 2 full days of my week to edit those things. And while I got a job, I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. So share the episodes. Help me blow up Trash to Thrash. If it could get what is it getting, 10,000, 5 to 10,000 on each episode. Some episodes have 30-something thousand or more. But if they each got to 100,000, I could definitely start doing 2 episodes each. So be sure, hit the like button, comment on every one of these videos I do. Even if it's just like, hey, good video or whatever, or it's something you want me to do in a future video, or questions for me that you want me to answer, anything like that. That's just going to help blow the show up. So the bigger the show gets, the more content and stuff I'm going to be able to put out. So my point was that I put together, back to the original question, I put together a video over a year ago, a year and a half ago, of when I had 50 guitars in my collection. And it was like a tour around my jam room, which is the studio room, aka the workshop, the main workshop, the indoor workshop. I had a bunch in here, then out in my shop, in the garage, I had a bunch out there, and then upstairs in my bedroom, I had a bunch up there. So I went around to all the different rooms and showed all the guitars, 50 of them in my collection. But I never got around to editing it because it was just way too much video. It was like an hour and a half, and never ended up putting the video out. If you look at Trash to Thrash, that was around that time, the first episode. I was talking about how I have 50 guitars and I want to start selling some of them, and whittling my collection. I keep saying that. I don't know why that phrase is like cemented in my head. I should just say like I'm selling some guitars, but I keep saying I'm whittling down my collection. I don't know why. But now I'm down to, I think it's like 20 in my personal collection, and then I've got like 8 or 10 projects that will be for sale. So I got to do a new collection video because I've got a few since then, and I've got rid of 20 of them. So yeah, I do need to do a new full guitar tour. Good idea. Okay, I'm not even going to try to attempt this name. That looks way too... I mess up everyone's name, so we'll just read it. The question. What axe would you recommend a beginner, and what gauge? So what guitar... I hear the JS32s are awesome. King V, they make a Dinky, they make a Rhodes. That's what I would get if I was looking for a beginner level guitar. Maybe an LTD M50 or M100. LTD and Jackson are my two favorites, and since I play metal, that's what my go-to would be. And it still is my go-to, you know? As far as gauge of string, 942s. These are my jam right here. The Ernie Ball 942 Super Slinkys. If you're looking for something a little heavier, of course, Ernie Ball makes a ton of different strings, but I think for a beginner, 942 is great. If you find a reason to change, if you're playing tuned down music or the strings hurt your fingers, you know, you can go lighter or heavier. What's a rough estimate of your refinishing prices for customers? It depends, man. It depends on a lot. It depends on if you send me just a body, sand it down. If you send me a body that needs to be disassembled. If you send me a full guitar. If you want clear coat. If you want a flat or matte finish. If you want multicolor with a burst. If you want a splatter, crackle, you name it. There's all these different things. But the cheapest paint jobs I do are usually in the $200 range for like a flat black and body only. If you need like a neck through with the back of the neck, the front of the headstock, you want like some custom logo put on it, you want a burst with stripes or splatter, or you know, it can go up to 400 plus. So if you want a clear coat and you want the back of the neck, the headstock, the body all clear coated, all polished, buffed out, you know, it starts to add up because it's just time, you know. It takes a long time to buff out guitars and to level sand them after you paint them and polish them and all that stuff. Next question. Hey, bro. Hey. When you go in to do a hydro dip paint job, looks cool and is so hypnotic to watch. I want to do a hydro dip. A couple episodes back on Trash to Thrash, I was actually going to do 3 Rhodes at the same time. I did do 3 Rhodes at the same time. I was going to do one. Hey, Ruka. My dog just came over. I was going to do, come here. Say hi. What's up, big girl? Hi, Ruka. So I did 3 Rhodes at the same time. I was going to do one with like splatter, one with crackle, and one as a swirl. All the same colors, but 3 different techniques. And then I was like, I just got to get these things done. I don't have time to learn how to swirl. I've never done a swirl dip. But I do have that in like my list of future finishes I want to do because swirl dips are awesome. If somebody custom ordered a swirl dip, I would get out one of my tester guitars. I've got like a bunch of tester guitars, bodies that are just, you know, old Epiphones, Squires, cheap guitars. And I would dip a couple of those, learn how to do it, just like I did with the crackle. I did a crash course. It took me a couple weeks. Or maybe, about 2 weeks of just experimenting. I got like 4 or 5 testers and paint 4 or 5 of them in a weekend. Let them dry, check out how they turn out. Give them to my shop assistant, Ryan, have him sand them in the next week, and then I can experiment on them again the next weekend. And it's like getting 10 guitars worth of experience over 2 weeks. Sometimes I'll do it on like sample pieces of wood, but the wood doesn't always like, the paint doesn't adhere to just wood as well as it does to something that's already been painted or that has like, you know, like a hard finish on it already, like guitars do. Okay, Detective Hoovy, LTD Aero or MH series? If you look behind me, you'll see a couple MHs. I actually just got a 3rd MH. Huge fan of the MHs. I never used to be. I used to be all M. I was not about the Horizons, but MH has definitely grown on me. I've never played an Aero, actually. I love the look of an Aero. So I got to go MH. MH is like the most comfortable body shape pretty much ever for me. But I will be getting an arrow at some point. I love the arrows, especially that flip-flop chameleon paint. I mean, really cool. Now, when it comes down to like the arrow versus like a Rhodes, that's a good competition. That's a tough one, man. I'd have to have them side by side. I think arrows are a lot bigger than Rhodes, so I'd have to play them too. The purple Rhodes, the RR24Q here, one of the best looking guitars I've ever seen. I love that thing. I love the looks of it. So I don't need to be wearing those anymore. If you put like the best looking Rhodes up against the best looking arrow and just went off looks, now that could be a tough one. Especially if it's like sponge brick painting the arrow. I'm not sure if the ESP USA makes arrows though. They make like the other Flying V, but not the arrows, I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. Favorite guitarist? Crazy hard question. I love James Hetfield. He's my favorite frontman, my favorite Metallica guitarist. I mean, obviously I love Kirk Hammett, but James Hetfield, he's one of my favorites. John 5, as far as technique goes, John Petrucci. Those are my top three, but those are my three runner-ups, I should say. My absolute favorite guitarist, Eddie Van Halen, man. If you look at what was going on at the time that he did what he did, and his contribution to modifying guitars and innovating his tone, how many hit albums, you know, in my mind, every album is a hit, but how many hit songs they really put out, and Van Halen was awesome. He's my favorite guitar player, for sure. He's the reason I started playing. He's the reason I started modding them, because I knew he did that kind of stuff. So yeah, favorite bands. That's a tough one. I haven't, honestly, the last couple months, I've been listening to more podcasts and music, so I gotta like think about it for a second. There's like different categories, too, of music. Dream Theater, Metallica, Van Halen. Those might be like my three. Pink Floyd, gotta put them there. Maybe those four, that's my Mount Rushmore. Ooh, Between the Buried and Me. Between the Buried and Me is like a death metal prog / rock band, and they would have to be, I would have to carve another face into that mountain if it was going to be a Mount Rushmore. Those would be like probably my 5 favorites, but then there's so many others. I mean, Black Crowes, and yeah, there's too many to name. Let's go through, I could quickly run through my Spotify, tell you some of my favorite bands that are on my subscribed list. 3 Inches of Blood, love 3 Inches of Blood. Alice in Chains, love them. As far as individual like instrumental guitarists, Angel Vivaldi, Andy James, Nita Strauss, all have amazing albums. Michael Romeo, that guy is insane. One of my very favorites. He's from Symphony X, so good. Let's see, who else is on here? Conquering Dystopia, love that. Children of Bodom, love them. I really got a special place in my heart for Dragon Force. I love Dragon Force. Going through here. King Diamond. Oh, King Diamond. Mansion in the Darkness, the Abigail album. A bunch of stuff from King Diamond. Lagwagon and Strung Out. I love that kind of 90s California street punk, skater punk, whatever you want to call that. Necrophagus, when it gets into death metal. Ninja Gandhi, those guys are awesome. They're a newer band from Southern California, down here. What are we on? It's just, I'm scrolling through a lot of bands I really like without naming, 500 bands here. But let's see, Tool, love Tool. Vitalism, we'll leave it at that. I censored out a bunch, but I actually did a podcast a long time ago about trying to listen to trying to listen to one album from each artist in a week, and then you can't listen to them again. So I would be at work for 40 hours a week and listening to music all day at work, and then, if you listen to Metallica's Ride the Lightning album, then you can't listen to Metallica again for the whole week. So then you listen to Judas Priest Painkiller album, can't listen to Judas Priest again the whole week. And then, by Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you start to get through all your favorite bands, and you're like kind of looking through the bands that you don't listen to that much. And then I decided to extend it 2 weeks. Go 2 weeks without repeating a band, but listening to full albums the whole time. And that was fun because I got to go through a ton of different bands, and I actually listed them all. It was like hundreds of bands, but it was really fun. Favorite bands outside of rock and metal. I mean, outside of rock and metal, I don't really listen to that much that's outside of rock and metal, to be honest. A little bit of hip-hop here and there. A tiny bit of country. I mean, that's a little embarrassing. Don't ask me what kind of country I'm listening to. Let's see. A little bit of, like, mashups. I actually kind of, you know, if you've heard of Girl Talk, I really like that kind of stuff. He mixes in the newest, like, you know, all those, like, crazy young people music, like hip-hop and stuff, with, like, 80s synth pop. I mean, it's crazy, the stuff that Girl Talk puts together in songs. But, yeah, a lot of different crazy stuff. Have you ever heard of the band Type O Negative? Yeah, of course. Type O Negative used to be really big. I don't know if they're still together or what's going on. Favorite Ozzy solo? Goodbye to Romance. Crazy Train's awesome, but it's Goodbye to Romance. Ever since I heard that, probably 9th grade, when I was, how old are you in 9th grade? 14? Probably like 14. I remember that solo, like, blew me away. Where could I get one of those Floyd Rose post templates? I'm a little reluctant to put those out because there's a lot more than just tracing on those 2 holes to figure out how to mount a Floyd Rose. And also, I'm a little worried that if I put it out there and someone messes up their guitar, they're going to be mad at me. Or maybe it doesn't work for every single guitar out there. It's based off a certain type of bridge, like you have to have a Strat-like bridge. But the real way to do it is you got to double check and make sure that the nut and the saddle, where the string contacts both sides, is going to be the right distance for the scale length of the guitar. So at some point I'm going to release like a whole very specific how-to video for that, and maybe have even like some kits or something for some of the tools you need. But the template, it's going to be available at some point. My machinist buddy has been so busy that we haven't made them yet, and they're pretty hard to make because they got to be really precise. But at some point those will be available. EMG 8160 or EMG 5766? That's a tough one. The 8160 is like the older style, thrashier, crazy output. The 5766 is a little more modern. The guitars behind me, what do we have? 2 of them have EMGs. I've got a bunch of guitars over there that have EMGs. I have 5766 in, I think, only one of my guitars, but I built a few with, I'm looking through all of them right now. I built a few with the 5766. I think I like the 8160 more just because it's obnoxious. And my guitar, I have like crappy ears. People get mad. You'll see people comment on my videos that my tone sucks. Sorry, it's the tone I like. So 8160s, they're obnoxious. They're all out, balls to the wall, 80s thrash. Really, I think they're more 90s, 80s, but I love the 8160, but I love the 5766 too. When I'm playing more technical, progressive, more modern, articulate stuff, I like the 5766. But when you're recording, you need 2 different tones. So one 8160, one 5766. How about that? Ryan's Riff Rats on Instagram. Your guys' names are crazy. I see a lot of beer stickers on your wall. What are some of your favorite brews? I love IPAs. I'm a big beer guy. Those have been on the wall for a long time, actually, out there. I'm getting ready to redecorate the outside studio and get rid of some of that stuff because I used to do a different podcast and we would put all the beer things on the wall. And my favorite beers would be, I love Ballast Point IPAs like Sculpin. They make a bunch of different Sculpins, grapefruit and hazy. I can't remember all of them, but there's a bunch. A regular one. Pineapple, I think they make a penny apple one. I love those. I love Union Jack by Firestone. I love Lagunitas, Little Something. What's the one from Kernville? Kern River Brewing. How hard is that to remember? That stumped me for a second. Yeah, well, I love Golden Road. All those ones. And then even pretty much anything that's like a good quality IPA is what I like. I like them about 7%. I don't really want a double IPA that's 10%, triple IPA that's 13%. I like something that I can have 3 of them, catch a little buzz at the end of the night, and then fall asleep. I don't really, you know, or if, you know, I used to go crazy. You know, a couple years ago, I would go day drink all day, drinking lighter beers, and then I never really got into the Bud Light, Coors Light, or all that. Maybe when I was like in high school, when I'm not even allowed to drink yet. I didn't know. I wasn't allowed to go in there and pick them out, so it's just drink what's there. I don't know. But back then, actually, it was so long ago that IPAs weren't even a thing 20 years ago. I think Sierra Nevada Pale Ale might have been out, but I wonder if Torpedo was out, like sold in all the stores. I don't know. I love beer, so yeah. IPAs, I'll drink a sour. If I'm at some dude's house and we're talking in his garage about stuff and he busts out a Bud Light, I'm not going to turn him down. I'm not a beer snob. I know a lot of guys who drink IPAs and stuff won't drink a Bud Light, Coors Light, whatever. I'll drink whatever. If someone offers me one, hell yeah. Let's have a beer. Edward Story, what is your favorite brand of amp and what model? I don't have a real favorite, like, specific model. I love Marshalls. Marshall full stacks, that's what I play through. An AVT50, which is a pretty cheap amp. Mesa dual rectifiers are crazy. Triple rectifier. I don't know, to be honest. I've been using the Axe Effects a lot lately. I like that. But yeah, probably Marshall. Marshall would be like my favorite actual amp. Do you remember Kane Roberts' AK-47 guitar? I do not, but I can imagine it. Sounds cool. Yeah, another one of those crazy names I'm not even going to attempt. Most enjoyable guitar to work on? I don't know. That's a tough one. I find inspiration in the guitar that I'm usually currently working on. So I don't know. It's hard to say. I get excited about certain things, about certain guitars, and you know, once I learn, I mean, yeah, I don't know. That's a tough question. Should I route my Floyd Roses? Kind of goes back to what I was saying about the template earlier. It's really risky. If you don't know what you're doing, I would say no, don't try to route it. There's a lot more that goes into it. You know, the radius of the neck, the nut, and the bridge all have to match. If that's not right, you're going to have to refret the guitar or shim up your bridge and your nut, or you know, get a new nut, and it's complicated. It's not just as easy as drill a couple holes and throw a Floyd Rose on there. If you're like an experienced craftsman, then I would say get a tester body, do it on that first, and then try it on the guitar you care about. What's up, Danny boy? There he is. He's back. If you could play in any band, which would it be? That's tough. To be honest, right now, I don't really want to be in a band. I like working from home. But if I had a crazy opportunity to like play on a tour, let's say, and I can go play with a tour with like one of my favorite bands, imagine the hate I would get if I toured with Van Halen, played with them. I wouldn't even want to, honestly, because I know how crazy it would be to try to fill Eddie's shoes. Would be ridiculous. I would never try to do that. Metallica, if something happened and Kirk couldn't play for a tour, holy crap, that would be insane. I would love that. Between the Buried and Me again, that's one, like, if something happened and one of the guitarists quit, they needed me to play with them, that would be really awesome. So those would be the top 3, my 3 favorite bands. Go figure. In your opinion, what's an easy, cheap, but good way to repaint your guitar? I'd say an easy, cheap, good way to repaint your guitar would be to do satin. Satin's so much easier. It's big that it's really important that you do the proper prep. You know, sand the guitar with some 600 to 800 grit sandpaper, fill all the dings and chips and the deep scratches. But satin finishes seem to come out the best when you don't have a lot of experience. You don't really need to level sand them and polish them because they're satin. Same with flat, matte black or something like that. Those are pretty easy too. Gloss paint jobs is when you start to notice a lot more imperfections in the body and scratches on the surface and that kind of stuff. So they're a lot harder. Favorite band? I kind of went over that, but I would say my favorite actual band. So my favorite guitarist is Eddie Van Halen. Favorite band? Metallica. Yeah. Quentin, what's up, dude? We need to collab again. I have a new guitar. I've noticed you've got a couple new. You got the new Kirk Hammett what is it called? The green burst. Is that what it's called? Green burst? Okay, I am looking towards buying, restoring, and flipping guitars. What budget to start with? Whatever budget you have. I mean, if you watch back to episode 1 of Trash to Thrash, I started with $200. I went out, I bought some pickups and some guitar parts in like a bundle deal used on Craigslist. And I really wanted just one part out of it. He was selling for $80. And then he had all these other parts for sale. I offered him $200 for everything, and he took the deal. Then I came home, and it was for a gold Floyd Rose that was in good condition. So that's worth $200 on its own. I went and sold all the other parts and made like $200 or $300 off just the other parts. Then I went to my pickup drawer. I have a drawer that's just pickups here, and took all the guitar pickups I didn't think I was going to be using anytime soon and sold those and got like another few hundred. And that set me up with like $600-700 or something like that. I went out and bought 2 Jacksons, got them for a couple $100 a piece, bought new pickups, got new bridges, got a bunch of new parts for them, repainted them, fixed them up, and sold those. Those are what started it. Then did a couple Frankenstrats for people. So I would say, I mean, you could start with as little as a couple $100, but you got to be really smart about how much you're spending on parts. And you know, it's in the beginning, of course, you can't charge a ton for your labor if people don't know who you are or don't trust your work yet. But yeah, I think you could start by just flipping. You know, if you see a guitar for a really good deal, buy it and then just resell it for $150 more. If you can do that kind of thing, buy them local off Facebook Marketplace or whatever, and then bring them over to eBay, make $100, and start just racking up a couple bucks here, a couple bucks there. That's kind of what I did. Pick your brick. What's up, man? Will you make a tutorial on how to put a Floyd Rose on a Strat? Yeah, that's one of those things. I love making how-to videos and doing voiceover and doing all the awesome angles for how to do things, but lately with Trash to Thrash and this actually isn't very much time, but with Trash to Thrash and working on all those other guitars, I have not had any time to do tutorials, and if I had more time, I definitely would. So, like I said, keep promoting my videos and helping me share them with your friends. Let people know, like and comment, and free me up so I have more time to do these videos, because that's what I want to do. Hey man, I have a lot of hum in my guitar because of bad soldering skills. Do you have any tips? That's another thing. I want to do a tutorial on soldering. It's something I've been doing for over a decade. I'm good at it. I know a lot of little tips and tricks, but I just, it takes a couple hours to film, takes many hours to edit. It's just, it's a half a day to a day's worth to make a video like that, to make a good video on how to do something like that. And to come up with all the notes ahead of time and make sure I tell everybody all the right, not that I would have the wrong information, but tell you all the tips, like a comprehensive overview on how to solder. So yeah, I definitely want to do that. One thing about soldering is here's a quick tip. Don't add solder to your iron. Add solder to the source, the thing you're trying to heat. So like if you're trying to heat a wire, touch your iron to it on the bottom and touch your solder on the top, so that the solder is being heated by the wire, not the soldering iron. You want the solder to be pulled towards the iron down, and so it pulls through. The wire has to be hot enough to melt the solder, or it's not going to be a good solder joint. You need the wire to be as hot as the iron, hot enough to melt that solder, so it's going to pull the solder through the strands of the wire. And then if you have 2 wires next to each other, it's going to pull it through both and really solidify these things. The solder's flowing through them. You don't want to have cold solder joints and all this stuff. So in the future, probably on Trash to Thrash someday, I'm going to go deeper into soldering. Because, I give little lessons on each episode, but I'll go probably deeper into it on a future episode. Okay, so how old are you when you play guitar? When I started, I assume you mean. I think 9 or 10. I was in 4th grade. Christmas of 4th grade. Worst mistake you've made while customizing a guitar? Tons of mistakes. I've drilled a Floyd Rose bridge crooked a long time ago. Had to fill the hole and re-drill it. I mean, most stuff you do when you make a mistake is semi-reversible. I've messed up paint jobs, had to repaint guitars, which to me, it's no big deal. It's just more practice, I guess, Can you paint guitars with spray paint? Absolutely. Frankenstrats, Eddie painted all his Frankenstrats with spray paint. If it was good enough for Eddie, it's good enough for you. If you want like a super high-end professional paint job, you actually could do it with spray paint, but you gotta learn how to use spray paint with some technique, do really good prep, and then use a good clear coat. They make that 2K clear coat that I showed in a couple Trash to Thrash episodes, where it's actually 2 different chemicals in one can, and you press a button on the bottom, it mixes them together, and it gives you a real hard, solid clear coat finish that you can level sand and then polish and get great. I did a couple recently. They look so good. Amazing. Worst guitar you ever played? There's 2 of them. I actually have one of them. I'll just say this one that's here. It's a Lion or something like that, made by Washburn. It is like their intro guitar. It is like the worst guitar I've ever. I can't even get it to play good, unless I mean, I probably could if I bought some nice new parts for it, but that thing is messed up. Mr. Biff Malibu. I've adjusted a Floyd bridge, but action is still too high. Suggestions. Shim the neck. You probably have to shim the neck. You might have to angle the neck with a shim. You might have to just do a straight shim, but if that'll bring the strings down closer to the neck. You might have to adjust the nut. You might have to adjust the angle of the neck, the bridge angle. There's some tricks, but that's, or you could recess the Floyd rose further, but that seems like that's quite a bit of work. Alex, share. Would you ever do a full tutorial on painting a splatter guitar, like full sanding and clear coat? Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about this, and I want to do a Patreon page where it's like $5 a month, and every week I put out a new in-depth tutorial. That might be how I do all my tutorials. So like one week would be sanding and disassembly. So it'd show you, and you build a guitar up with me maybe. So you get your guitar, start watching the series, sand it and disassemble it, and then the next week, the next video would be prepping for paint, filling dents and chips and all that stuff. I'll show you how to do all that, and week by week I would give you a new video, so like 4 to 5 videos a month. If you guys would be interested in that, let me know down in the description, and maybe I'll get going on that, because I do want to do more tutorials, like I said. When the RR24Q versus Jeff Loomis Kelly, and any ideas for me, I want to upgrade my King V Pro. Yeah, I recorded that video. I just haven't had time to edit it. But yeah, I got the RR24 versus the Jeff Loomis. I even wrote my own little demo song to have like all the different styles, like clean, strumming, heavy, chugging, shredding, all into like 1 2-minute song. So you could hear all the same riffs on those 2 guitars back to back, but all different style riffs, which is pretty cool. And you want to upgrade your King V? You need an Iron Age kill switch, and you need blood splatter finish. That's what I do to every guitar, basically. No, EMG pickups, same thing I do on every guitar. I love the 59 JB combo on it, though. Okay, so I mean, if you love the pickups, don't change them. People sometimes will have me be customizing their guitars. They're like, I love these pickups, but what do you recommend? And if you love the pickups, why would you change them? You could always get a cover over them if you want a different look. What do you think about the fretboard cracks on Solar guitars? Mine arrived like that. I've heard about that, and I hear the criticism by people saying that Solar is not really dealing with the problem. They're just continuing to put these guitars out. I heard their rebuttal to, or whatever, defense was that their rate of fretboard cracking is the same as every other company's. I know I've heard of some people with Jackson issues. I don't know how prevalent it is with those, but they say with the, per capita or whatever, how many guitars they're building, they're having, Solar is having the same cracking as other companies, but I don't know. I don't really know. I don't want to say anything bad about the company because I don't really know much about them, but if it's true that their fretboards are cracking and they're not really fixing the problem, that's weird. Maybe they just bought a bunch in bulk. They're hoping the problem is isolated to a few fretboards. I don't know. That sucks. Hopefully, if your guitar does come like that, they fix it. Let me know, Pat. Do they fix it? Just Pat0. How much are no noise tremolo springs? Like the ones you use? They look good, and mine make quite a bit of noise. Yeah, those regular ones sometimes are crazy. I'm not sure how much they cost. I'll look it up real quick. How did you get into customizing guitars? Well, of course, I knew the story of Eddie and how he took the humbucker out of a Les Paul and put it in a Strat and did all this crazy mods and everything. So I kind of wanted to do something like that, but at the time, I was a diehard Metallica fan. I had my first LTD guitar as an M series, and I wanted EMGs in it. So I bought EMG 81s, a set of them, and me and my dad soldered them in. I think I was 13 years old when we did that. So that was my first time modding a guitar. And looking back, his soldering was really bad, but it worked. It worked fine. It was before EMG had the plug-in system. So now EMGs are so easy to put together. Their wiring is like so simple, but it used to be hard. You used to have to solder the shield of the wire. You used to have to, it was like a lot of work. And for someone who had never soldered and someone who wasn't that good at soldering wire like that, it was a challenge for us, but we, like I said, we got it. And years later, I opened that guitar up and was like, oh my God. Like when I got good at soldering, I'm like, geez, I'm better than my dad at soldering. Do you know of any guitar companies that hire for work from home, sales, promotion, etc.? I do not. By the way, FU Tone Springs, $20 a set. Totally worth it. Can you please mod a cheap Strat and make it into a metal machine? Love from Ireland. Ireland, hell yeah, my people's land. Yeah, I've modded some Strats up before. I'm trying to remember. When I was back in a Screamo band in 2005, I had a single humbucker Squire Bullet, which is a $99 guitar. I put an EMG 81 in that, and that's how I played it for shows, and had the crappiest tuners. I wish I would have known more when I was like 18 or 17 years old to change the tuners on it. That would have made the guitar so much better. I had a hardtail on it. I actually ended up making it into a Frankenstrat that I sold just a couple months ago as like a display-only Frankenstrat. My good sir, do you think you'd ever one day create your own original guitar body shape? Yeah, I've got some ideas. I've got a bunch of ideas, and I do plan on doing that. It's just I haven't ordered my CNC. I've got the money set aside for my CNC machine, but the one I'm doing is from Highline Guitars. I bought the plans already, but he gives you a parts list, and you got to go get all these parts. And I've just been too busy to track them all down. It's going to take a couple hours, probably 4 hours to get all the parts. There's so many parts. And then I got to build the system. Then I got to learn how to use the system. Then I got to start experimenting with building. So it's going to be a year before I figure out everything on how to build guitars with a CNC machine. So I got to get that. I got to get that going. Being a Randy fan, what are your thoughts on Jake E. Lee and Zakk Wilde and Ozzy's bands? They were both awesome, and Gus G. All awesome guitar players. Ozzy's awesome. I think it's cool that he's had multiple guitarists throughout the years. You know, you can't compare them to Randy. They're completely different guitarists. There's no reason to. They're all amazing guitarists, so I think it's really cool. For me, it's all about the Randy Rhodes, Ozzy Osbourne, though. I don't listen to any of the later albums when, like, Mama, no, wait, what's the one I'm thinking of? Whenever like, the later 80s songs from Ozzy come out, come on the radio or whatever, I enjoy them, but I never put that stuff on. It's Blizzard of Oz and it's Diary of a Madman to me. Those two albums are just like masterpieces from beginning to end. How did you learn to do all the things you do to guitars? How did you start modding guitars? Well, I told you how I started, but like I said, I was 13 years old or something. We put the EMGs in. And then it's just, owning guitars. I got obsessed with getting new guitars for my birthday or Christmas or saving all my money. I'll get all my family members to chip in. My birthday is in December, so I would tell like my grandma and grandpa, and I'll tell my uncles and my aunts and my parents. I would tell everybody, please combine my birthday and Christmas. Just give me money, and I want to buy this guitar. And I'd show them the specific guitar I wanted, and they're like, okay. Like, that sounds awesome. Everybody knew I was super passionate about guitar at a young age, and people would all contribute, and then before you knew it, we'd have, between birthday, Christmas, all the family members, we'd have $600. And that's how I bought my LTD that's over there, my M100 that I did the EMGs with. Then, started just collecting guitars over the years. Every time I get paid when I was 16, when I had my first job, I'd put a little bit towards a guitar. Before you know it, you have 20 guitars when you're like 20 years old. And you just start tinkering with them. Just if you change knobs out, that's a simple one. Change the tuners, that's a little more mechanical. change the pick guard, change a pickup, put a push-pull pot in one of them. You know, over the years, I've been doing it for over 20 years, I think. Yeah, been working on guitars for over 20 years. So every year you pick up a thing or two, and then by the time you're 25, 30 years old, you got a bunch of skills. But there's seriously so many things to learn about, you know, working on guitars, refretting and painting them and clear coats, and it seems like it almost never ends, and then finally when you get it down, you die. What's your favorite guitar pickups? That's a tough question because I like a lot of different ones. The obnoxious metal guy in me loves the EMG 8180 or 60 combo. But also I love Seymour Duncan's. The distortion set's great. The JB and Jazz set is amazing. It's tough to say. I really got to get into Fishman Fluence pickups. Everyone keeps recommending those. And Bare Knuckles. I'll probably someday go down the rabbit hole of like better, you know, more boutique style pickups and amps. That's another thing. I just play basic amps. I just play whatever. You know, I'm not like super into like a refined tone. I like just give me something with a lot of gain, a lot of power, some reverb, and a lot of gain. That's like what I like. Favorite Instagram guitarists? Oh, there's a lot of them. If you look back at my Guitar Guts podcast I was doing for a while, Josh Dalvikin, Doom Hiatus, Kieran Johnston, Cammy B. There's so many of them. I'm like almost blanking. My absolute favorites. Oh, Louis Khalil. He might be my favorite. He's a shredder. Michelangelo. He's not an Instagram guitarist, but he makes a lot of cool videos. Herman Lee. I mean, he's more of a Twitch guitarist these days. Who else? Sophie Burl. She's awesome. I'm trying to think. Who else have I had on? I reach out to all the people who are my absolute favorites, and I get them on the Guitar Guts podcast. So I get to actually meet a lot of them, which is so cool. How did you become so awesome? That's from my buddy Kyle. That's hilarious. What's up, Kyle? I didn't even read that beforehand. I just started reading. That's funny. What's up, dude? You know, by jamming with you, man. Kyle's an awesome drummer. So, and then the last one, we made it through all of them. Can you sound like Randy Rhodes? No, not really. I can play some of his riffs, but I can't really sound like him. All right, we made it through. Thank you guys for watching. I got to get out of here. Tune into Trash to Thrash. Pretty soon there might be a season break for Trash to Thrash. We'll see. I'm getting a ton of guitars done in the background, but it's getting to be a lot, and I've got a ton of guitars to work on. So to put a full day into editing every single week, it's kind of tough to do when I could be, you know, in a month, that's 4 guitars I could have, or 4 days, full days I could have worked on guitars. So there might be a season break pretty soon. We'll see. I'll announce it on there if I'm going to do that. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I should have talked about this way earlier. The new Guitar Guts pedal is out, man. I've only got a handful of these things, so if you want one, they're painted blood splatter. They were designed by me, built by Goliath Studios, Matt Clark, who I had on here about a couple weeks ago, talking about a pedal that we were designing together. So this is it. He sent it to me. I actually ended up painting these ones because there was some damage from shipping all the way from the UK. But he had painted them originally. I sent him a video how I like my splatter painted. They looked great. They got all chipped up. So shipping from the United Kingdom is, you know, like a long journey. The next ones I'm probably just gonna have them send me bare, and I'll paint them for now. But yeah, man, check this thing out. So it's a boost and a kill switch with a knob that adjusts the boost. Input, output, 9-volt power. It's an awesome pedal. Check out Trash to Thrash this week for like a little demo on it. The boost makes your guitar sustain forever. Gives it like a feedback loop kind of thing, almost like the sustainer pedal or sustainer pickups. But yeah, this thing, the kill switch. Somebody had commented on the Trash to Thrash video this week after seeing it, saying the buttons are too close together. They are close together, but when you have this Velcro down, I didn't even have it Velcro down. I'm sure it's not going to be a problem because I've used it just on the flat ground. The kill switch works great. So the buttons aren't too close together. They're pretty close. I was even thinking maybe of designing it, having it sideways like this. Which, not like this, but with the two buttons on the bottom and then the knob in the middle. But it's a pretty compact pedal. And yeah, I'm really happy with the way they came out. I think it's awesome. It's small enough to fit on your pedal board. What is it? The size of a Phase 90? About the same size as a Phase 90. Actually kind of looks like the Phase 90 with one knob and then some buttons at the bottom. So check it out. If you want one of these things, send me an email, mark@guitarguts.com. I'm going to have them up on the Guitar Guts website under, it says Guitars for Sale. I'll probably just have them in there. That change it to the store or whatever soon, but they'll be up there. So awesome pedal, 125 bucks. Metal construction, hand wired, painted in the USA, built in the UK. You can't beat that. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave me a comment down below. Let me know which of those guitars from earlier you thought was the coolest. That Guitar Dude guy, your guitar is awesome. That Splatter V, oof, I don't know which one I like better. But that's about it. So I will see you guys very soon. Thanks for watching. Rock on, my friends.